I can absolutely tell you that government is actually a very low-hanging fruit. The level of governance you see in Bangalore should speak that where we are and where we need to go to. And it's, what I would want to share in my keynote, whatever you call it. See, all of you know better than me all the transformation which AI can do. And as I said, government being the low-hanging fruit, from inside the government, we are finding it extremely difficult to engage people, even in Bangalore. The quality of, for example, e-Khata software, which we have rolled out, is abysmal. And people are our captive market, or we have a monopoly as the government, and they are suffering. I have been struggling inside even to interface with citizens of Bangalore in terms of them getting a good response when, for example, they want their e-Khata. AI has gone to God knows what are levels, but very rudimentary questions are not getting properly answered when you interface with the government in general, and particularly even in BBMP. Everywhere I go, nowadays, people gather around me for the harassment they are facing for example, getting their e-Khata. And everybody in that sense, as I said, is my captive client. And I can tell you, we are sincerely trying somehow to be more responsive to the people, but we are not able to come out of that, I don't know, red tape or our structures, etc. So I'll just share a few things. Some of you, Jay told me, some of you are the entrepreneurs, naturally working. Many of you, all of you perhaps are working in some way or the other with AI. I want to go away from here by telling you how what I am feeling is not allowing the people and the private, the knowledge which Bangalore has and India has to work along with the government. So, but how do we solve this problem? I have many bad examples. Jay is one of them. So yesterday he sent me a message. After 10 years or 7 years, he was able to hand over some data which he had created for use within the government for Bangalore city. He did some LiDAR data for each house in Bangalore, and he was holding on to that data for close to 7 years, or I don't know how many years. And we have been in touch with each other, and it took me 3 to 4 years to get that data to an organization within the government where they can use it. And I don't know what will happen. So I'll try to tell you it's hard actually. How do I get it across? Dealing with government is like dealing with life. So there is no, I mean, if somebody was to ask you, please come and tell how does one deal with life? I mean, what can you tell? Shashi has worked in the government also, so he'll absolutely, and Jay will bear me out. Some of you who think, it's almost like that. And there's another cliche which I would say totally applies to government. Everything I can say about government, the opposite is also true. So, I mean, what works is very hard for me to tell. What does not work, I can tell more easily. Okay. So since I'm trying to make whatever I'm trying to tell you more meaningful for you, what does not work is selling product to the government. And I find most of the private sector mindset is to sell a product or a service. What works, I can tell, with the government is be in relationship with the government. What simpler terms it means, don't think that you'll come, develop a service or a product for 2-3 years, deliver it and go away. It won't work. You have to think that to put it simply, think of working along with the government for, let's say, 10 years or 20 years. Then you can actually work, because the government is that slow. By the time you have started, 2-3 years would be over. And all the people who try to say that in 1 year or 2 years, you may have the best product. Think of it like your grandmother who is in the kitchen and you want to teach her the full cooking range. And the fundamental issue is that you need to stay with your grandmother, okay? You can't just come and say, okay, all these gadgets are there, please start using it. She'll not be able to use it. So what I mean to say is that this mindset that in 2-3 years, start, finish, deliver the product, it will not work. And the benefits are huge. For example, just before me, some speakers spoke about the Bangalore traffic problem, even basically interfacing with the citizens, etc., and so on and so forth. What I mean to say, after this, even if you come to me, even we had some IIT alumni, one function, we tried following up. From within the government, we are not able to connect to the people. We remain in silos. The people who can produce great products or solutions, and within the government. So, since the time is less, all that I can say is you can come with brilliant ideas and meet me or meet somebody in the government. But please work in terms of long term, along with the government. And one thing which possibly can work much better than anything else, work from within the government than from outside. So you have to step somewhat inside. And government is paranoid, frankly, to hand over its data. There was a scam, the officers can go to jail. And so that's where I say if you work from within the government, the system will be much, much more comfortable sharing a lot of data. The sensitivity of data, I believe you know better than me, etc. So I can just sum up my point that think of it as a relationship to work over next 10 years. Work from within the government, then thinking of taking over anything. Somebody was telling and selling me cloud solution across the world. No government is putting their data on the cloud for the simple reason that any great best cloud solution sellers, they have a clause with government of America to share any data at a situation. So, so that's where a lot of things come. So if you come within us, we feel psychologically comfortable. It is a bad setup to work from within the government, but that is only maybe the best option. And rewards are huge. I'm working in the government. You get a lot of satisfaction. The scale is a given thing. Lakhs and millions will get affected by even the smallest of the things. So I don't want to tell what AI can do. I think you guys know better. Our challenge from within the government is how do we interact, interface, connect with the people who can make a huge difference so that what we do from within the government with your help is able to actually impact 100,000 things. I'm not even on the cutting edge. Even the rudimentary things have not been done within the government using AI or using even technology. So the whole scenario options are absolutely open. We will try to find some mechanism of onboarding people. We have been trying, but unsuccessfully, in a more staged manner rather than either you are in or you are out. So if we have that, so there's more meaningful engagement, it happens. I'll just close saying that I was like the head of COVID war room in Bangalore and the state of Karnataka. So all of us know what all happened in COVID. People had all the enthusiasm which I found from the private sector to help during the COVID. You can't have a better situation in that sense where everybody is genuinely wanting to work along. But we found it extremely difficult to work along because again, that whole thing doesn't change that, I'll do hand over this cooking range to my grandmother and she should use it kind of a thing. So absolutely, we need to get into a relationship at different levels rather than just having no contract with the government or a contract with the government. Thank you.